Hello there, and welcome to the Sustainable Happiness Save Our Sleep 5-Day Challenge, where every day we learn one quick but effective practice you can do to improve your sleep, whether you're just a person who's just looking to improve your sleep quality, or if you're more of a hardcore insomniac who's really struggling to get to sleep each night. These tips here are going to make a massive difference, or at least they did for me. So we'll go ahead and jump into today's video, which is going to be all about cleanliness. Our first point is we're going to be talking about making sure that you yourself are clean before you go to bed. Now, obviously, most of us will be generally clean before we go to bed because we're all taking good care of our hygiene. But I just want to talk on the benefit and comfort that can come from just making sure that you're specifically clean right before you go to bed. So, some simple practices you can do if you're not already having a shower at bedtime. Maybe if you have your shower in the morning and you don't really have much of a sweaty day, so you don't really end up showering in the evening, then you can just do the simple water only face wash, or you can just put some lukewarm water on your arms and things like that. And just doing this simple practice, you'll find actually makes quite a big difference to how easy it is to fall asleep. Now, if you want my absolute best recommendation, I recommend just going on for a full on shower before you go to bed. And again, if you haven't really been sweating much and you don't really feel like you're that dirty, if you've maybe had a shower earlier in the day already, then maybe you could just try a water only shower. So, not necessarily using any soap. And I can, again, give you a nice kind of clean without necessarily having to soap yourself up and one, use more soap, but also kind of preserve some of your skin microbiome a little bit as well, because sometimes washing too frequently with soap specifically can be a little bit bad for our skin microbiome. So we should try stick to just once a day if we can for things like that. But if you go ahead and do that, that can help you get in that more kind of relaxed state, because whenever we have a shower, we always kind of have that nice relaxing feeling. And another thing as well is in our psychology, we really like being clean. So you'll notice that whenever you're kind of clean or you're well kept, so if you're taking care of yourself and just making sure you're always wearing a clean outfit and you're cleaning yourself regularly, you always feel a lot better than you would if you're maybe not putting as much effort into your appearance, or if you're not really taking care of yourself in the same way. So we tend to always feel a lot better or a lot more good when we're keeping clean. And I think this is quite linked to sleep here, because in order to sleep, you need to be nice and relaxed. So by doing this, this can really help you in that way. And this is going to move us on to this next point here, which probably most of you are familiar with, and that's going to be the benefit of changing your bed sheets. Now, most of us will change our bed sheets around once every 2 weeks, or sometimes a little bit longer. But I want you to really just go ahead and try treat yourself a little bit more to having these kind of cleaner sheets more regularly, because it makes such a profound difference to your sleep. Everyone knows that kind of feeling of when you've just changed your bed sheets and you get into bed, it's like nice and cozy, it's nice and comfortable. And we always have a good night's sleep, or at least I always found, even when I was struggling with insomnia, whenever I would get like a nice clean duvet cover on, a nice clean sheet, that night I would always sleep well. Even if I, maybe got a million things going on in my head or whatnot, I would still manage to somehow get a good night's sleep whenever I just changed my bed sheets. So maybe that's just me, but I definitely think you will find a benefit in going ahead and doing this more regularly. So maybe even once a week, if you can afford to wash your sheets that often. I think most of us can. So I definitely recommend giving that a shot, because it can really make a massive improvement to your sleep quality, especially if you're struggling with insomnia and things like that, or if you're just looking to improve your overall sleep quality. And so that's a little tip there, but definitely I'd say the most important one is just making sure you yourself are clean. And that can be a nice, easy way you can go ahead and help yourself prepare for bed a little bit more. And also, one last thing I want to talk about in terms of cleanliness is cleaning your environment. So this is more about kind of visual noise and things like that. So just making sure your bedside cabinet isn't all cluttered, and just making sure your bedroom looks nice and clean. So when you go in, you're not being kind of like irritated by all these things that are happening in the room. Maybe there's like clothes dumped on the floor and stuff. I know that's something that I've kind of struggled with a lot. So just kind of making sure that it's a nice clean environment, and that can really help you get to sleep, because visual noise has quite an impact on our ability to fall asleep as well. Even if it is like a completely pitch dark environment or whatever, our mind will still be thinking, oh, there's clothes on the floor, I don't really like it. And it's just nice to kind of go into a room and it's completely clean and it's ready for you to get into bed and have a good night's sleep. So that's today's video. So just quick summary. We're going to, first of all, make sure that us ourselves are nice and clean. Then second step here is to make sure you are cleaning your sheets regularly. That can be a really great way to improve your sleep quality. And last of all, we're going to try clean our environment. So making sure there's not a lot of visual noise. So maybe just making sure you're hoovering regularly, make sure you're not dumping clothes on the floor. If you do need to put your clothes on the floor, maybe just kind of folding them up and showing some care for your clothes. And that can help you feel a lot more better mentally as you're trying to fall asleep. That's today's video. Tomorrow, we're going to be moving on to day 4. We're going to be talking about how we can go ahead and actually relax before we get to sleep. So a few quick practices that have really helped me improve my sleep quality and help me relax before bed. So apart from that, if you do want to learn more about sleep or just improving your health in general, then please feel free to check out my non-profit online community and resource hub, Sustainable Happiness. It's just the top link in the description of this video, or you can also find it in the top link in my bio. So feel free to check that out. But apart from that, I hope you all have a lovely rest of your day or night. I hope you have a great night's sleep, and I'll catch you for tomorrow's video. Take care.